Hello everyone. Just linking up to my iPad here. We'll get started in just a few seconds. Okay, let's see. Oh, there it is. I think I found it. Yay! Okay, good. And watch this video on your TV to enjoy it on a bigger screen. I think my friend Judy does that. She watches it on her TV. No, I don't need to see it on a bigger screen for me. Hi Glenda, hello. Just getting things linked up here. Yeah, I've got the comments coming through. So here we go. Welcome, welcome. I'm Stamp Interest with Shauna, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, Canada. And welcome to my Tuesday tutorial. I am really styling today. Look at this. I've got pearls, silver, probably $5 pearls on top, and sweats on the bottom. That's how I've been rolling these days. I'm going to be showing you today a Z-fold card. I've seen the Z-fold cards before, I've made them before, but I was inspired to make one this week because I received a St. Patrick's Day card from Debbie. She's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Alberta. I think it's Edmonton. I hope I didn't get that wrong. And yeah, she inspired me for the Mystery Card Monday this week. And so I'm going to show you what I came up with just shortly here for my card using the mystery card pieces. And I'm also going to show you I don't know if it's a stepped up version, just a different version of the mystery card. So hang tight, I'll be sharing those dimensions and all the tips and whatnot, techniques for putting them together in just a few minutes. And hello to those of you who are just hopping on. I see a few more names now. Hi Roz. Oh, we would all love to be in Florida right now. Mind you, we've been getting better weather here lately in Saskatchewan. We had like 5 days in a row where it didn't snow, and I think it got above the freezing point. So that's good. We're going in the right direction. Most of the sidewalks are all clear and dry. There aren't too many icy patches anymore. So I don't know if I never even thought about a weather word for today, but we're just going to say it's safe out there. It's mostly safe for walking, unless you hit like really muddy spots where the snow has just recently melted. Safe for walking and safe for going outside without like every little bit of clothing that you own. So I guess that'll be the weather word for today. Hello to Debbie and to Sue. Yes, good morning everyone. You have a big TV downstairs for watching these things, but no idea to set it up. Oh yeah, you know, these pearls I've had, like, I think I had them back when I was in high school, and they just somehow tagged along with me all the while. Hello, Kathy from Iowa. Great to talk to you tonight. Yay. Okay, so just a couple of reminders here. First of all, the big one. Tomorrow Stampin' Up! Is offering free shipping, and here in Canada it's free once your product totals $65. When you reach that, that's the magic number that causes the free shipping to kick in. And I do have a host code. When I turn my camera down and work on my mat there, you'll be able to see the host code, and if you'd like to shop through me, I'd be so thrilled. And I have a host code that you can use. If you're putting in like a really big order, like a $200 order, that's a threshold where you start earning host rewards, and you wouldn't want to use my host code then. You want to just get your own host rewards at that point. At $200, you start earning $20 in free stuff, and you get to pick what you want at that point. So just keep those numbers in mind. I'm going to be using more of the butterfly bouquet today. This is kind of a faded sheet that I've printed off here, but it's the new bundle that's going to be coming out in the annual catalog, and it's it's released early, plus there's some special papers that are available for a limited time only with it. So just a reminder that if you want to get any of the parts of the butterfly bouquet collection, you can get it tomorrow with the free shipping. And if you need some help, like if sometimes the online ordering is glitchy or things aren't working or it just doesn't make sense for you, just give me a call and I will help you to place your order. If you're here in or around Moose Jaw and say you just want to like a little something, like maybe, you know, some glue, some adhesive, like Stamp and Seal, or I'm going to be using a Wink of Stella tonight on something, and you just want a few little things, and your order doesn't reach $65, give me a call, send me a message, and I'll just add your things in with mine here, and you'll still get the free shipping. It just means it'll come to my house instead of delivered to your door, and you can just pick it up from my house here. We'll make arrangements for when it comes in. So keep that in mind, and I don't think I have any other announcements. I'm just looking around to see what am I forgetting to tell you, but yeah, well, I'm sure if I think of it, I'll mention as we go along. So get things turned around and get started. If the moving of the camera kind of bothers your eyes, you might want to turn them away for a second, because I'm going to tilt the camera down. Let's see how we go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and something like that. I think we're close, and I'll just get this tightened up really tight. There, you can see my iPad there. That's my setup. Let's see, I think I need to go a little bit to the left. And then, yeah, it always kind of sinks down a little bit more after I adjust my camera stand. It sinks a little bit more. So there we go. That's pretty close. Oh, yeah. And this, I've been holding this face cloth. It hurts my hands so much to tighten and loosen the little turning thing on my camera stand that I use a cloth when I'm turning it so it doesn't hurt my fingers this much. Okay, yeah, this is a confusing time with all those X's on the floor. I know somebody from Facebook shared this, and I can't remember who it was, but this one just really tickled me. My son, he just saw it a few minutes ago too, and he thought it was pretty good. So I'm like, okay, Joel thinks it's funny, then it must be pretty good. I always find when I print these off that they start to roll. I don't know if it's just because they have so much ink on them and they're wet from the ink, and then they start to curl. So I was holding it together with my clips and clothespins and things. But I have a second funny for you too, as I really liked them both and I couldn't decide which one. So here's the other one. Check on your crafting friends. They're not okay. I love I can't decide if, I think it's crochet. I think it's crochet that they created this outfit with. It's hilarious. It's quite hysterical. And I don't know what they're pulling out of their mailbox, but they're being very careful. They're being very sanitary when they pull that, whatever it is, from the mailbox. That's probably me looking in my mailbox every day to see if somebody's dropped something off or there's an order or whatever. Okay. Oh, I do have one more announcement. That's this pile of cards that are right here. Many of you know that I have a Facebook group. This is my Facebook business page, but I also have a Facebook private group. And anyone who likes to learn about cards is welcome to join on. And this week, this Thursday and next Thursday, I'll be making these Garden Wishes cards. We'll do two this week and 2 next. And some of the ladies have purchased the packages with all the pieces to make the cards, and they're just going to stamp with their stamps and inks that they have at home. But that doesn't mean that the rest of you can't watch, if you want to see how and learn how some of these are made, keep an eye out on Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, or watch for the saved video there. And if you're not part of my private group and you would like to be added on, message me, and I'll send you the link so that you can join. So garden wishes, yeah, 1. Here's number 2. I said that today we're doing a Z fold card. Well, this one is actually a double Z fold. And I know I've done one of these before too, but it has been quite a while. And so I was kind of anxious to try it again and use it with the dies from the Garden Wishes set. And then I think I saw somebody say this one's called a Peekaboo card. Wishing you all the best. Oh boy, we're looking forward to all those dandelions. I know they're weeds, but bring on spring. There we go. And then the final one, it's got some of the beautiful, I think it's called Colorful Seasons paper, and it has a bookmark in the front. And then I didn't do anything on the inside, but I know there are lots of things that I could do, so I'm gonna have to think about that. So that'll be happening this Thursday and next for my coffee break stamping, and you're welcome to tune in if you can. Oh, hello, Donna. I just saw your hello there now. I don't know if you're still there, but welcome to all those who are hopping on. Okay, so I have to reach across and get this card. I mentioned that I received it from Debbie. It was such a fun treat in the mail. Like anytime you don't get bills, but you get fun things. That's so cool. And the Z fold card is what it is. And I really liked a couple things about it. First of all, she had a few layers here on the this narrow panel. And this top layer, it looks kind of like designer paper, but what she did is she scatter stamped a whole bunch of St. Patrick's Day images on a sheet of white cardstock, and then she cut them into pieces. It was like she created her own designer paper. I thought that was a really great idea. So yeah, the different layering there and creating your own designer paper, and then how she used the label to go across for her greeting. And then even on the inside here, she put a few more shamrocks and stamps. And so yeah, this was my inspiration for this week. And for those of you who saw my post earlier for the mystery card stamping challenge, I shared that it's a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5, but instead of scoring it just once, you score it twice. You score it 2 1/8 and 4 1/4, and that's how you get that Z fold in there. And then I also shared the dimensions that, I should keep this in place here. I shared the dimensions that Debbie used for the next layers. So there's some of that Oh So Ombre paper from Celebration. Love, love, love that paper. And that size of the DSP was 5 3/8 by 2 inches. So almost 5.5. So not quite 5.5 by 2 inches wide. And then her next layer, which is the green, and you know, I'm trying to think of what green that even is. It might be garden green. I don't know. Debbie, if you remember, let me know. But that's a cardstock layer in there of the green, and that was 4 3/4 by 1.5 inches. And then there's the designer paper that she stamped, her own scatter stamped homemade designer paper. And so on my challenge, I said you could use designer paper, or you could make this a stamped piece of cardstock. And it's just a tiny bit smaller than these two numbers here. So 4 5/8, just under the 4 3/4, and 1 3/8, just under the 1.5, so that you get the really narrow border along there. So I've got my card here that I've created with using these dimensions, and then I'm going to make another Z-fold card with just a little bit of a variation. So for my card here, I used more of that butterfly paper. You can see I used 2 layers of it, and I used Debbie's dimensions. Hey, you know what? I was going to show you something. Some people saw my post before the video about an hour ago and how it was a complete disaster on my table. And I know a lot of you can relate to that. In fact, I asked people last week what was some of the things that kind of got in their way from stamping. And one of them was just being able to sit down and stamp without having stuff all over and, you know, still having your last project to clean up. I totally relate to that and understand. But I thought I'd show you one of the things that kind of sort of helps me to keep the mess contained. And even if it is spread out all over the table, it has a spot to go back to. And that's my little caddy. And there is no brand name for this little caddy. I think, well, to be honest, I got it from Avon, like probably about 20 years ago. And it's probably supposed to hold makeup and stuff. But it's been super handy for my stamping tools. And pretty much all of my basics are in here. So like there's my stamp and seal and my liquid glue. And then there's, you know, pen and pencil, aqua painter, always need a ruler, always. Some shiny crystal effects, shimmer, the Wink of Stella shimmer pen, my take your pick tool, which I reach for always. Here's my Seal Plus, because I really like the strong Seal Plus. It's just a personal preference. And look at, I can even fit a refill in behind there, because you never know when you're going to run out exactly. For the dimensionals, it only took me 19 years to figure this out. But if I take and cut my sheet of dimensionals the long way in half, these little sheets of dimensionals will fit right down in that pocket. So yeah, I've got some minis and I've got some regular sized dimensionals. I love it because they're always in that pocket and I'm not looking all around the table now. Like it's great, they're there. And look at, there's even some chocolate in there. I have another day I'll tell you the story about this chocolate because it's designer chocolate. Look at that. You're going to notice all around that I've got clips and clothespins because I'm always needing them on hand for holding things in place, and if I glue something with liquid glue, they're handy. And look at this pocket. I thought this was clever. There's my circle with my glue dots, and then the bigger circle with the tear and tape. Now, this glue dots is just about done, so it's pretty small, and I think a brand new thing of glue dots. Well, I don't know, maybe this one isn't brand new. I think a very brand new one might be too big to fit in the middle of the circle of the tear and tape, but once you take off a few of the layers of glue dots, then it fits in there just perfectly. So yeah, it's little things. That's all it takes for me. All right, so getting back to the card. So the only thing I can tell you maybe about my card that's different from shown here was I was trying to make this a simple card that almost anybody could do. They wouldn't need to have a big shot. So I didn't use a die cut label for my focal point. And I can give you the dimensions of what I've got here, but you can change that around depending on the words and the images that you're using. But in case you're wondering, I will tell you. So I used Bermuda Bay as my accent cardstock color. And the Bermuda Bay layer is 3 1/4 by 2. And then the Whisper White is just that 1/8 of an inch smaller. So almost 3 1/4 by almost 2. And you can see I didn't do any stamping on the inside. I was just keeping it like super simple, whipping it up really quick and easy. As I mentioned, you don't need an embossing die cutting machine to do this. I just used the Butterfly Duo punch I am wondering if this butterfly punch is going to continue. With all these new butterfly things that Stampin' Up! Has brought out, it's just kind of making me, you know, question whether this will continue. Demonstrators are going to find out. Well, everyone will find out on March 24th. So keep your eyes open on that day for the announcements of what's discontinuing. And then, yeah, I used the Bermuda Bay, the punched butterflies, and then one of the little punched butterflies is Misty Moonlight, and I used the Misty Moonlight ink here. One of the reasons why I was drawn to doing this Z-fold card, and I saw all these layers that Debbie had on her Z-fold card, was that I really have been enjoying this paper of the butterfly bijou from the Butterfly Brilliance or Butterfly Bouquet, or I don't know, the collection anyways that Stampin' Up! Has just early released for the catalog. But I've been using almost only this piece right here with the dies that cut out all 6 of these butterflies in one pass through the Big Shot. So I've collected a wonderful assortment of butterflies, but I started looking through this paper and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at the rainbow of butterflies on this one, and oh my gosh, look at these pretty little butterflies, and these are so cool. It's like butterflies are flying through the clouds, and look at this, some more rainbow kinds of ombre. Oh, and so I thought, I think I can use this paper some way in creating a card, a Z-fold card with Debbie's ideas. So like I said, this was the basic one that you just need the punch and some opal rounds and the papers. Oh, and I should show you here the paper that I did end up using, the one with the little wee butterflies. Now can I find a sample of it here? It's in the pack. Oh, it's this first sample right here. It kind of looks like, well, I'm calling it camouflage, but it's, got the splotchy blues, the Bermudas, and the, what's that other color? The mint macaron, all splotchy on one side, and then the other side it's got these pretty little butterflies, again, mint and Bermuda and Misty Moonlight. And so I used both sides of the paper. I used the splotchy for the background one, and then this one more as a focal one. But I wanted to step it up a little bit. So I'm going to do a stepped up variation of this card. Oh, and the words, in case you're wondering, where on earth did Hello Beautiful come from? It is from the Butterfly Gala stamp set that coordinates with the Butterfly Duo Punch. Okay, so here we go. We're going to step it up a little bit, and there are just a few changes that I'm going to make to the original dimensions. So there's the basic Z-fold base with the same dimensions I talked about before. And what I decided was I wanted a piece of paper here and a piece of paper here. And when I cut this, I thought, okay, in Debbie's original design, she had like just 1/8 of an edge showing all the way around. But when I cut this to the size of, let's see, what was this? I have to figure this out. This would have been, so this is 4 1/4. So then just 1/8 of an inch in is 4 1/8. I did 4 1/8. When I did that with that full 6x6 sheet of paper, it left me exactly this much left of it. Let me back up though. I'm getting ahead of myself. The very first thing that I did though is I cut it off at the bottom because the paper is six inches tall, and at first I cut it to 5 3/8, so almost 5 1/2. But then when I found out that there was just this much left and it was creating like a perfect 1/4 inch on each side. Then I cut this one down a little to 5 1/4. So here we go. Just to confuse you a little bit more, I'll tell you those again. So I'll show you how I did it actually. I'll show you with this piece of paper. This is the handiest one that I've got. So I think the butterflies kind of look like they're going up. So across the bottom, I'm going to cut off the paper. I'm going to make it 5 1/4 inches tall. The paper is, the card base is 5 1/2 inches. So we're just getting rid of, yeah, just a 1/4 inch. And then I'm just going to double check and make sure I'm saying this right. This next cut is going to be at 4 1/8. So just a snippet more than, not quite 4 1/4. Halfway between 4 and 4 1/4. There, that's it. That's what works perfectly for the Z-fold card. I'll show you. It's a great way to use your 6x6 paper. This really made me super excited when I saw, like, anytime I can use my paper and make good use of it, that makes me happy. So then what I did was, I'm like, okay, I need to kind of butt this piece up right against the fold area, but then these 3 edges are all the same, and that gets covered up inside anyways, and then this piece fits perfectly on the front. You know what? I'm thinking tomorrow I should post a picture so that you can see these dimensions, and then you can refer to that, because I probably confused you now that I've been throwing in 1/4s and 1/8s and all that stuff. But all right, so I'm gonna glue these. I adore this paper, so we're working with this. That's what I've designed the card for. You can see I have a little bit of Stamp and Seal in the middle there. I was checking to see if it fit the way I wanted it to, so I kind of put a little temporary piece of adhesive there. So some adhesive on that one and adhesive on this one. And I got to stand up to see if I'm getting this straight. Oh, look at those butterflies. So I'm looking more towards 3 edges here, here, and here to see if it's about the same on those 3 sides. This is just going to be tucked into the fold, so it's not a big deal if it's different on that edge there. There we go. And yeah, the butterflies are going in the right direction. That's always good to check before you glue it down. And then here's this one. So, ooh, gonna be getting glue all over, going off the edge there. Isn't that pretty? So nice how the butterflies are just flying into the pretty atmosphere of colors. Wow. Okay. So now, I could leave this to write on, but I did remember in Debbie's card that she did have some stamping there. But you'll remember that I had cut out all of those butterflies from that other sheet. I had lots of them. I cut multiples. And so I'm like, okay, how can I use these? So my plan is I'm going to put a butterfly here and another butterfly down at the bottom. Oop, got to get that going again. There we go. Something like that. Now, on to the words and the label and all that other stuff. Okay, I am going to use this big butterfly on it. Okay, so here's the next thing I did. I'm like, oh, I don't really want to cover these up, but you know, I think if I have a label here with my words on it, I mean, it will look nice just like that too. But I found that this piece of cardstock here, it kind of grounded it a little bit. It made it so that, yeah, it gives the label something to attach to. Yeah, so I decided, yeah, I'm going to use this. This is the Misty Moonlight, and that's picked up a little bit in there in places. And now I don't know how this is going to work or how this is going to look, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to pull in some twine. I could not find my baker's twine in my mess earlier. That was one of the reasons that I had to do a cleanup, because I couldn't find it. So let's see here. I'm going to, yeah, who knows what this will turn out to be like, but it's the stepped up version, right? So you have to have a little bit more on it than just the usual. So, you know, you can put things through the embossing folders, and you can add ribbon and embellishment. Well, we already had embellishments on the other one too, but okay, so I'm just gonna stick my twine into there, and I'm gonna wrap it around. I think I'm gonna go around twice. Yeah, something like that. And this would be much easier if I used my take your pick tool. Look at that. Now, after showing you, I've been putting my glue dots back right in their little pocket where they belong, instead of just throwing them wherever on the table. Got to keep to it. Okay. I think I kind of want these to cross over. Let's see if I can just bend this a little. There. It'll be a little bit more interesting. So yeah, there's not going to be an extra piece of stamped or patterned paper here. I'm just going to have some little bits of the twine, like that. And we'll glue that down onto the side panel. Okay. Darlene, hi there, welcome, and welcome to everyone else who's hopped on. Oh, and I'm glad you like the storage bag, Elaine. It's worked really well for me, and I think that, like, you know, the 31 ladies and different people have things like that. You might be able to find something like it. I will post the measurements, Darlene, yes, because they are slightly different from this card, or from the first card, from the mystery one. But I just loved how, like, okay, well, I mean, not only is it good for 6x6 paper, it's great for 12x12, because 12x12 breaks down into 4 6x6s. So this is where one of my clips would come in handy, just to hold that in place. Make sure it's glued down. Okay, so I'm going to really do some stamping this time. Really. I've grabbed a couple of these labels, and I'm not going to layer them. I'm actually just going to use white. There won't be a color in behind it. I have a hard time remembering the names of all these things, but it's from this set here, Tasteful Labels Dies. And yeah, so this guy right here. In the back here is it's a magnetic sheet. It's kind of supposed to hold them in place, but I didn't have a very big piece, so I stuck in a small one, and now some of them are kind of sliding off because it's really not big enough. But here's another tip, a storage tip. A lot of times I'll cut labels and then I'll change my mind and decide to use something else. So I'm learning to tuck all those extra labels inside the package from whence they came, so that another time, if I need to grab a label, I might not even need to cut it. I can probably just go into the package and grab the one, even if I just want to see the size of it. I might not necessarily want that color, but I can check the size. So yeah, another storage tip for you today there. Okay, stamping. I'm going to be using the Happy Thoughts. Just wanted to send some happy thoughts your way, because those butterflies and the colors make me happy. And since I've got the Misty Moonlight cardstock there, I'll use that ink. And I'll try and do this without getting blue all over. There we go. I just realized I didn't put on my headphones today, which have a microphone. Sometimes that makes the sound just a little bit more even, but I'm taking it that you can still hear me. Oh, all right. Okay. There we go. Now, what was somebody saying? I read, did they say if you push here? No, I don't know. I'm just trying to remember which way they said it was the least likely to get ink on your fingers. Yeah, just hold on to the very edge. All right. So I'm going to want to adhere this here. I think I want a little bit of the blue showing. I don't think I want it right pushed to the edge. I think it's a little more, I don't know, it just looks better to my eye that way. And I'm wondering, like with my first card, I just glued the label part flat to the left panel, and I think that's what Debbie did as well. But I'm thinking, no, I'm going to use glue dots. So glue dots raise it just a little bit, so it's not quite as flat, but then I want to pop the butterfly with dimensionals, so it has a little bit more pop to it. So then we'll get a few different layers going. I'm going to go back to my glue dots here. If you want the glue dots to create a little bit more dimension, you can always ball them up, and that creates a bit of dimension too. And I only want them, oh, it's liking my finger more than it likes the paper. I only want to put them on the left-hand side. So yeah, I just have to stay to the left of the midpoint with the adhesive. Hey, maybe I'm going to finish off my roll of glue dots and I can start with that next roll that I've got nearby. I knew this one's getting close to the end. Okay, look at that, going back in its little pocket. Woohoo, yay me. Okay, so I think I'm kind of going to go for the center, because if I go, like up is nice too, but I don't want to force this butterfly too high to the top. I want to have room for the pretty blue accent butterfly. Okay. And now this is where I'm going to use the dimensionals. And I'm going to go something like that. So I don't want, it would kind of look neat to have the butterfly hanging off this edge, but it's not going to go in an envelope very well that way. So we're gonna try to stick to the left, but it'll maybe hang off a little bit on the other edge there. And I'm gonna try and put dimensionals in the center. Then that way the wings can fly free. And whenever I put this in the mail, I think I've already figured out who I want to send this to. It'll probably get pushed down, but oh well. He was a free butterfly at one point. So, I don't know. Something like that. Yeah. Now, yeah, I'm wondering if this butterfly is a little big, but it's very pretty. So I'll just leave it for now. And then because it's such a big butterfly, I was thinking with the twine that I've used here, if I could put a bow across the bottom, like around the twine that's already there, that might help a little bit to balance it. Because it is it's a large size butterfly. Okay. Do my upside down bow. See how well my fingers are working tonight. Okay, you can do it. There we go. And I think I kind of want, like, you know, sometimes I like to make nice, petite, very tailored bows. Not that they all turn out to be tailored quite the way, but I think because there's movement and butterflies on this card, I think I'm gonna, you know, try to keep this one a little bit floppier and bigger. That's, in my mind anyways, the way it should go. Now, you know, other people might have other ideas. Now, there is the chance that that bow maybe could slide down the twine pieces a little. So I'm just gonna, never hurts to use an extra dab of a glue dot in there to hold things in place. Okay, tuck that under there. And I have been known too to take the point of my pokey part of the take your pick tool and go in and tuck my glue dot in more if I need to. Sometimes it wants to stick to the tool more than it wants to stick to the paper. Actually, my fingernails actually work better for doing that. There, okay, now that's lovely, but then you say, well, there is no place to write on it. And you could just, I mean, you totally could just write on the back, or you could just do a teeny tiny hidden message there. But I'm gonna bring in one more of these shapes and create a label on the inside to write on. And now, of course, there won't be a ton of room in there to write, but it'll get the to and from the gist of it. And so a lot of you have seen me do this before. I'm gonna open up the card like that and grab my seal plus. Okay, yep, that's the back. Whew, I thought for a minute I was doing it on the wrong side. So I'm gonna lay this down and do my very best to match up to the one in the front. There's the sticky seal on top. Might get just tucked in a little bit. Let's see, how straight is that? Oh, my fingers keep sticking to it and then it moves. Okay, you can do this, Shauna. Have the courage to close up the card. I think it's there, something like that. Okay. Oh no, that's good. I thought for a minute, oh, I put seal adhesive all over it, but I was supposed to. Whew. It's okay. It's okay. Don't panic, Shauna. All right. There we go. Okay, the moment of truth. Okay. No, you can't see it. There we go. Woo! There's the second label. Oh, I love it on these butterflies. Oh, and more butterflies. Okay. I am seriously, guys, you gotta get the butterfly paper. I'm seriously crushing on it. Okay, so there we go. There is my Inspiration Z-Fold card, which again, thank you so much, Debbie, for the St. Patrick's Day card. And then there is the fairly simple version where you don't even need a die cutting machine to create the things on this. You could do more stamping on it if you wanted to. And then there is a little bit more stepped up version that has more die cutting and embossing involved and lots of designer paper. And, my friend reminded me the other day that we have as demonstrators, we have 6 weeks to show all of the current papers in the annual catalog and get using them. And then we'll be on to a whole new catalog. And so I got to get using my papers. And I mean, this one isn't even going to be in the annual catalog. This is just a limited time paper. But yeah, I'm super happy to stumble upon how to use the 6x6 on the Z-Fold and how it uses almost all the whole sheet. Well, okay. So this is the piece that's left. Hey guys, I need to grab an envelope. Hang on, my envelopes are just over here. Oh wait, that's not the same paper though. Okay, well I could make an envelope for this one, but basically that's kind of what's left is it's like 3/4 of an inch, because what did I say, this was 5 1/4 inch tall, so there's 3/4 to get to the 6. So yeah, you could take and you could run it along the edge of the card, run it along the back of the flap, give the person who's receiving the card a little hint that there is something cute and pretty inside. Oop, there we go. Done with that. Okay, well, I'm just gonna use the liquid glue for this last little bit here. Yeah, so just that little hint that there is something nice coming inside the card. And look, it even matches to the card. You know what? I'm gonna move this over just a little bit. Okay, I stuck that down too soon. Well, there's a tiny, tiny strip of white showing on the edge. Now, you guys, I know you'll have so many cool things that you'll be able to do with this, and that's just one idea. Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your comments. Oh, you know what? I was even thinking of putting opal rounds, like maybe 1, 2. I don't think it needs opal rounds. Like it's kind of, but I did say I was going to use, man, I can't remember half the things I was going to say today. I was going to use some Wink of Stella on the butterfly. So again, thank you so much for watching and for your comments. And if you know anybody who's like sitting at home and looking for something to do or might enjoy crafting ideas, I just really appreciate if you share this video with them, and you know, you could tag them and say, ooh, here's a good idea for using your 6x6 paper, or oh, I like how she put the Wink of Stella on the die cut butterfly. This isn't my original idea. I think I saw another demonstrator that did this, but it's out there now, and it's a fun idea. And oh yeah, so when the light shines on that, I don't know how well you see the sparkles, but once the light shines on that, that adds just the sparkliness to it. That yeah, because I didn't use like the opal rounds on the other one. So yeah, if you're gonna order the paper, well, they said it's limited time, so sooner is probably better than later, and tomorrow is great if you can get in on the free shipping. And you know, you can always go together with a friend if you want to get to that that $65 mark, so the shipping is free. And I think most of you have already seen this before, but I will remind you that so here is the stamp. It's actually one stamp. It's like a big butterfly background stamp, but there is the one big die that cuts all those butterflies out, this one, and it fits the butterflies on this particular sheet in the designer paper. And yeah, they're super nice to work with. And here's maybe some of you have seen this for me too, but lately the way I've been storing my stamp sets that have coordinating dies, I just put an elastic band around them and stick them on my shelf. You'll notice this set of dies doesn't have an elastic around it because it's labels and it can be used with so many different cards. So it just goes in with, you know, all my other kind of generic dies like circles and squares and that kind of thing. But the ones that coordinate really well, I do that, and they go on my shelf with the spine out so I can see which set it is. So, okay, well, Debbie says, I just put in an order yesterday and the DSP was still available. Good to know. Yeah, I'm hoping that they're going to be able to keep up with the production of it, because tomorrow is going to be a crazy day, and it's really nice. So thanks again, everyone. I hope that the rest of your week goes really, really well. If you have any questions or are having trouble tomorrow ordering with the free shipping, give me a shout and I'll do my best to help you out. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.